Appreciate you coming on the show, man. Give people a little bit of background about what you do, man.
Man, I'm appreciate you for having me, man. First and foremost, man, love what you do, love the platform that you got, and, how you provide, and you know what I mean, and what you're doing for the guys in the school with the exposure and things that. So first and foremost, shout out to you. I'm Coach Redd, man. Everybody know me by Coach Redd. I'm the wide receiver coach at Morrow. This is my third year coaching at high school. I'm one of the guys that used to coach park ball. So a lot of those guys you just mentioned in that last piece, quality field and all those nature, definitely familiar with those guys coming up through the ranks. Love the game of football, man. Love being a mentor and things of that nature. I work in the school as well. So, and this year, man, Morrow, I think I ain't gonna say much, but I'm just remain optimistic on the possibilities that we can have this year. Guys just keeping their head down and staying working. One of the reasons I'm actually glad Coach Laws, shout out to Coach Laws too, man. Shout out to Coach Weeks for, showing me the ropes, giving me the opportunity to get my feet wet in the high school coaching rank. So definitely always appreciate that aspect of it. Coach Laws came in, like the vision that he got, definitely like the staff that he's brought upon. Young guys, man, guys that fire, energetic and things like that. So the players are definitely excited and things of that nature. Brought a couple of guys on, man. I know you mentioned earlier couple last week or so. You mentioned, Devon Wright and Champ, my guy Champ or whatever, the Quez Witter, definitely playmakers. But I wanted to get some guys on, some guys that I expect to be household names by season end. So yeah, that's a little bit about myself, man. But excited for what we got ahead over there tomorrow.
Yes, sir. So, Coach, again, appreciate you coming on. So, I want to ask you, without feeling too much, Coach, what gives you that different level, I guess you could say, of optimism? What stands out? I know you say they put their head down and working, but it has to be a feeling you're getting, Coach, when you see them practicing, you see how they go through weight training. It has to be something you're getting that makes you go, okay, man, we're gonna have a pretty good year this year.
Um, well, man, if guys, watched film last year, a lot of those games, we were in the games until like maybe, early second quarter and things like that. So we know guys got the ability to stand the toe to toe with definitely a tough region. So, what I mean? And sometimes, given that new change, sometimes light the fire under a lot of guys, whatever. And I'm gonna believe in my guys, man. I'm gonna ride or die with my guys. That class of 2027, we definitely got some guys that are hungry and chomping at the bit. It's their last ride. They've been waiting on their opportunity to get it going. So I'm gonna bet the bag on them, not literally, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean. But I believe in my guys. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what it means, Coach. What does it take to be an elite wide receiver? You've been coaching for 3 years now. Obviously, you produce a good product. What does it take to be an elite receiver?
Modern day, man, you got to do it 365. You know what I'm saying. Besides the priorities and the thing that you got to take care of, student athletes. So it's books before ball, most certainly. But just night and day, man. Understand the preciseness of the position now. It's forever changing. You know what I mean? You got these guys that, got these crazy work ethic and things like that. So just emphasizing the day-to-day work ethic, watching film, understanding your opponent. To me, I'm trying to get the guys to understand their opponent, the guys they're going against, understanding the weaknesses of their opponent, breaking them down like that. Because that's what the great ones do. It ain't just about, how many balls you catch in practices and warming up. Everybody know every route at this level. You should know, to say the least. But understanding what's required of you at the system. I like guys that gonna block. I tell them block before you get the rock. So just being a complete wide receiver, man, understanding ways to get better and things that you need to work on consistently on a day-to-day basis.
What do you tell your kids, man? A lot of people they don't as wide receiver, they're like, Coach, I ain't trying to block, man. I'm just trying to go out there and catch the ball. Like, how do you get them
Hey,
to kind of buy that part?
man, they know. I tell them, hey, you get fired. They already know what it is with me. Coach Redd to fire you in a heartbeat, man. Send them to the sidelines. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just understanding the whole team concept, man. One man running, 10 man blocking. Just same thing we've been preaching since the younger days, or whatever. It takes a total team effort. And understand, the next play might be your play. So just stay engaged in what the game plan is and what we're trying to do out here on the field.
Period. And then, Coach, what about Jared Laws coming in? So I do want to ask you a little bit about that. What kind of message should you be sending for the kids? What is he kind of saying to, kind of get these guys going for this upcoming season?
Really hands on, very, very detail oriented, very hands on, very detail oriented. You know what I'm saying? He's spending the time to, do what he can about, making sure the guys are on the same page with the system and stuff that we're trying to do. And like I said, the staff that he brought in, a bunch of guys that's able to relate, what I mean, to modern day football and what's going on. It's a never stop, never ending thing nowadays. You can't really take time off. You got to be on your guys in some form of fashion when you allow, of course, dead periods and things of that nature. But for the main most part, just stay tapped in with these guys. Make sure you got the relationship both on and off the field. it ain't just about being a coach. It's about being a mentor and let them know you care for them too. So that's the main message. Keep the family vibe that we've already built and the foundation that we've already built, and then just expand upon that what we want to do moving forward.
Period, coach. And then I know spring practice right around the corner. I think a month and some change away, coach. Just what does the practice days look like for y'all? What are you looking forward to for the spring?
Early May, man. Early May, we'll get to it. Early May, we'll really get to it. Right now, we weight training and things like that. So like I said, trying to get on the same page with making sure you guys understand what we're trying to do moving forward. That's the main thing what we're doing right now. Besides what everybody else doing, you know. Yeah.
I just one more if I throw my co-host Bacon. What
What's going on?
What's going on, Coach? How you doing, man?
Nah, man, what's going on with y'all, man? I was just telling Najeh when we was talking via text last week, man, that like I said, I really appreciate what you guys doing, man. It's all about, supporting one another. And like I said,
Absolutely.
find these next wave of athletes with the platform and offer them opportunity to provide, and showcase their skills and talents and things like that. So definitely big ups to y'all.
I'm honored to have you on the show, Coach. Appreciate you.
my last one, coach, I throw the Bacon. Um, I want to ask. I think you mentioned a little bit, coach, about mentoring. But I want to ask, like, just what do you ultimately want to leave? I know it's still early, coach. I know you're a coach for a long time, but what legacy do you just want to leave as a coach? What would be like? Okay, yeah, I accomplished my goals, accomplished what I wanted to do as a coach.
Man, just to get these guys where they want to go in life. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's to the next level, whether it's getting scholarship, helping them become young men. That's the box that I check off at the end of the day. Taking guys that may have not believed in themselves, making them realize they got potential to really be something, change themselves first and foremost, and potential for generation to come. So just seeing them grow and seeing them thrive, man. Like I said, I coach at Morrow, but I got guys over in every county. They done spread that out and trickled over. Guys over at Latonia everywhere, man. So and just that aspect of, man, seeing them grow and them guys tapping in, hit me up like, coach, man, I really appreciate that. To me, that's the gratification of a coach right there, knowing the impact that you made on somebody else. That what the legacy is ultimately about, the impact that you leave on others. So definitely big on that right there, man.
I'm saying, well said, Coach. I'm gonna stay right in that pocket. You know what I'm saying? Very big on, you know what I mean? You said pushing for football, turning young men into men, but starts for them believing in themselves. So, I mean, in the high school level, a little bit in college, we see a lot of black coaches doing that thing. So, I'm saying, what do you think is that step that as men or young men that we need to take to, you know what I'm saying, for this, you know what I mean, do not say do better as a race, but you know what I mean, just take the next step of going against the negative statistics, if that makes sense.
I think, man, we need to get back together to being united, bro. We kind of lost a generation. Well, we all know that.
Yeah.
The whole YN generation is basically a generation that was, without guidance. They kind of got left and lost in the South because of the way they came up. Everybody kind of pushing to the side, like, nah, they ain't gonna do right. Instead of continuously working with them and teaching them, you know what I'm saying? Guys gonna make mistakes, but when we made mistakes, it was always somebody, an uncle or a granddad or somebody else like that. I think the older cats and the people like that, we got to get back to respecting those and helping bridging that gap. To me, like I tell them, you got to know, you got to have a friend in every decade. You got to know somebody 10 years older and 10 years younger, because that way you're gonna be able to keep tap with everything. So just that spreading the mentorship, man, bringing back the relationship, man, like the whole boys and girl aspect. A lot of the things that we grew up on, they taken away from us. So we got to take the step forward. You know what I'm saying? And use our voices and use our platform to let them know, hey, man, show them the right way. Show these guys that want to be entrepreneurs, want to be influencers, the right way to how to do it. They got a lot of skill, they just don't have the guidance, and that's what's missing in this generation. We had guidance, we just ain't have all the opportunities. I tell them every day in school, like, man, you don't know how many opportunity y'all got, all this stuff they got NIL going, but they just don't know the direction and the guidance to be able to how to do it. So if we could just, start little mentorships and start, outreach programs to tap in, I look at myself as not only just a coach, as a life coach too. I want to preach, positivity into these young men and show them I got business credentials and stuff like that. So just show them things, and then just, like I said, being able to relate to them, man, being able to relate to them and understand where they come from. You know what I mean? Tell them, hey, I've been in them same situations you done been in. I know what it like to be on Section 8, all that kind of stuff. Just the real situation, because everybody don't understand. And when they feel like you care and you tapped into them, you pouring into them, that's how you establish that relationship. Once I know you care, hey, man, I'm going to ride or die with you. I'm rocking with you. So that right there, man.
So, well, just dive a little bit deeper, Coach. Sometimes, it may not be the same support system at home. So it could be sometimes tougher to get to a kid, or I'm saying it could be a lady, a girl too. So I'm saying how you handle those battles as well.
Well, that's one of the great parts about being a coach. Kids develop that trust with a coach. Sometimes they don't have with their parents.
Yeah.
Sometimes, they're going to come talk to you about stuff because my parents going to judge me off the rip because you're looking at it from a different aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when you're that coach, you're that outlet, you're that vessel in between them and their family that, can sometimes get to them because, parents going to hit you up like, hey, coach, I need you to holler at them right quick. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
just those little quick conversations you have with them, hey, man, listen here, man, you got to tighten up and respect them. And like I tell them all the time, you are a brand, and the people that invest in you is your parents. Every time you step out their house, you represent that brand right there. Do you want to disappoint the brand that believe in you the most? That's a yes or no question. And most of them, when you ask them that and you approach them on that level, they be like, nah, man. I say that it's a lady that really, really believe in you. You know that, right? You hate to disappoint that lady. Don't want a lady to see that lady in tears. That's the most worst feeling you can have. You right, man. You right. And that a lot of the time, those simple messages right there, man, just tapping in and understanding the personality. And then, just getting to know a guy, understanding where he come from, giving them an example of some things that you've been through in life. And so they can be like, okay, he done been through it. He got out of it. And then, you don't look like the typical guy that's in there. One of the reasons I wanted to get into the school system is that, like, I was working, in firearm sales to say the least, but I was like, man, let me shift over to something that's more positive and show them that, you know what I mean? And then, too, they need guys they can relate to. You know what I mean? They see the tattoo. People see me outside of school. They don't think I'm damn what I am, but I got a whole master's degree, being a certified, very intelligent black man. But I show them it's two sides. You got to be able to walk with the sheep and the wolves, and everybody don't need to know who you are at all times. Like I said, it ain't always every time to turn up. Like, some people don't need to see that side of you because you never know what opportunity you might negate for yourself by showing that. You know what I mean? First impressions mean a lot. So conduct yourself accordingly at all times, especially when you carry that title as an athlete. You know what I mean? Because there's people that I said that are invested, they hard work, they hard earning, they living their time, they sacrifice into trying to help you get somewhere to go. So the least you could do is conduct yourself accordingly and do what you're supposed to do. As long as you give them forth your effort and you're trying your best, we're going to live with the results. That's parenting, that's everything else. Just give me everything you got and empty the tank for me, and then we'll figure all the rest out.
Period. What's understood ain't got to be explained 100%. So
Hey, man, not to sell the brand, but don't you want to come play for a coach like this, man? I'm just saying, though, man. If you're a father at home, you see a man like myself, hey, man, that guy there understand, he get it, man. You know what I mean? That's all it's about, bro. Like I said, it ain't just necessarily about football, because you see a lot of these things, and, a lot of these unfortunate situations they be seeing. So rest in peace to a lot of these guys, that go through situations, go through family, because sometimes they don't have that outreach system. I'm going to be a coach for life, man, whether it will fire you, whether it's all the way up to the time you in high school. My phone line always open anytime you need to reach out.
That's it, man. That's a definition of being a coach for sure. But let's tap into Coach Redd. You know what I mean? Do a lot of things, man. The community, man. Athletics. You know what I mean? Man, business. So I mean, you juggling a lot. How do you keep yourself? You know what I mean? Not getting overwhelmed.
Just multitasking. Not always believing in understanding the mission. You know what I mean? Always, never putting your cart before the horse. Never putting yourself before others. I understand my purpose in life, man. Like I'm a guy that always trying to help others and stuff like that, and I don't ever look for no immediate return and things like that. I look for the bigger picture. Like, it ain't never about the now. You know what I'm saying? It's about, we focus on the now, but we still looking at the bigger picture, what we trying to do in the long run. And I always believe in my intentions be pure, and everything else gonna take it to yourself. How you gonna get your blessings on the back end? Like, sometimes you wonder why stuff happens, but you sit back and look at, you volunteer a lot of your time to help others. You know what I'm saying? It's not, you're not always looking for how it gonna benefit you and all that, man. But as far as juggling, I got kids and stuff like that, man. But of course, my son plays. But it's just about putting your time and your energy in the right things. 40 years old, man. I ain't in the street trying to do nothing like that. So I'd rather invest my time into making an impact on others. It's more meaningful like that, because I'm gonna get something out of that instead of just, what I mean, out here doing willy-nilly or whatever. Yeah. Like, I'm finna go to work now. I go to work 2 times in one day, but like I tell them, that's me to explain to my players, hey, work ethic. I'm studying for a test. I want to take another test to get more credentials. Like, it's always a purpose. Like, stay driven in life. So that would allow me to do it. It's just about staying driven. I get bored, bro. I ain't no stagnant person. So I gotta stay doing something in order for me to have that self-satisfaction. What I'm saying before? It ain't worried about no gratification for another. And if you're a person that's driven in life, just keep striving no matter what. Find you something else you want to do. Find you something else you're good at. Find something that you ain't good at and learn that craft. And then, that's a satisfaction that, hey, man, I done figured something else out. Sometimes you got to create that belief in yourself. And get in a situation where you may not be familiar with, gonna bring the best stuff out of it. That's why you put players in situations where they feel like they push to the limit. But then when they see, oh, man, this ain't break me right here, I can keep on going. Yeah, you ain't know you had it in you, man. So everything got a caveat to it at the end of the day. And once you man, you start to realize, hey man, you can't sweat the small thing. You got to realize everything got to do. So you got to figure out what it is and apply it to you the best way you can.
Delayed gratification to a bigger picture. One more question, and I'll switch to football.
Yes, sir.
Business. When you got a young man or student that wants to get in business, and how do you kind of get them? How you kind of get their hands and their feet wet?
First thing you need to create a business plan. That's one of the first things they teach you to create a business plan. What kind of audience that you have, what kind of genre that you want to approach, what kind of brand that you want to develop, what kind of investor that you're looking to do, what location are you doing, things like that. Just teaching the basics and the foundation of it. It's a starting point. Create the blueprint before you go asking for anything and saying you do this. Make sure you got all your stuff together first and foremost. I'm a guy, that I used to do music and do it all. I done been in a situation where I know you got to have your business on your end right first and foremost. So figure out what you want to do. Figure out how you fit in. How can your business benefit others? You know what I'm saying? What service can you provide that's going to be a want? You know what I mean? You can't just start a business and don't nobody want to rock with it. So make sure that you got a necessary service that you're going to be able to provide to the public in order for you to be able to get, you know what I mean? And it ain't going to be no instant gratification. Your return on investment, you probably not going to see until 6 months into the first year. So patience is a virtue when you starting out a business.
You're a gym coach. I ain't gonna lie to you. Last season, switching to football. Last season, 1-9, 0-7 in the region, man. How are y'all? If Najeh already asked, how are y'all trying to turn this ship in the right direction?
Man, I love the region that we in, and the fact they added, a couple more teams. You know what I mean? State champs in one region. We don't like to call team names. They added them other guys. The red and black team or whatever. And there's no disrespect to anybody, but we in the realm of we don't want to pump two people up. Love what coaches do and love what every program been able to provide. But the whole aspect of us is that we got to focus on what we do. We can't worry about what everybody else do. You know what I'm saying? We control what we control in the build and how we develop our guys. And it's all about development at the end of the day. You get what you're gonna get, you know what I mean? You know how the game go, whatever. But once them guys in the building, once it's all set in stone, you got to coach and you got to develop. You got to be able to make them in-game adjustments or whatever. You never know how the game gonna go, how the game gonna flow. It could start off in your favor, it could turn on a dime, but keeping pause, being able to make them adjustments, being able to keep guys focused throughout the week and let them know on Fridays, it's y'all, man. At the end of the day, it's on y'all. We just here to support what y'all trying to do.
That's it. So, but what do you feel like has been missing though?
Missing far as just like I said, when you bring in that new energy, man, when guys that understand the whole aspect of what football is, you know what I'm saying, nowadays and things of that nature, just being able to stay tapped in and making guys feel inclusive, the whole year-round development aspect, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if you're a receivers coach, like I'm a receiver, so, I'm going to stay tapped in some type of 7-on-7 environment. I'm going to make sure I keep a bird's eye view. I'm going to make sure my guys are participating in that and just keeping guys develop all year round. That just been, to me, from the outside looking in and being a part of it, it's just the consistency and the development aspect of it. Having the time in order to do, every coach going to have different lives and different obligations as far as what they require to do, but just having guys that got the time to stay tapped in with guys, you know what I'm saying, making sure they inclusive. Because if you don't use them, you'll lose them. You know that, especially when they get after their sophomore year, they start to look around like, hey, man, I'm over here with my boys in the off season most of the time. I kind of got familiar with them. So, you know what I mean? Like I said, just building a relationship and making sure you stay locked in and you know that, hey, man, the mission don't stop just because, the cleats came off and in the fall or whatever. We got to stay. If we really want to be great, it's what you do in the off season that we're going to breed champions right there. So that's just the aspect of it, just preaching that, continuously making sure everybody doing something to do. I don't just want the skill guy doing 7-on-7. Y'all lineman guy better get active too. Y'all guy better be out here doing something. Every week we want to see improvement in the weight room. I'm saying goals, like, you know what I mean? We got to have goals or whatever. You drop a pass and warm ups, you 5 for the night. Just making sure that you got understand the importance, because every single play is important. It ain't always about the next play. Sometimes one play could change the game. So, and a lot of the time, that's what it was last year. It was like one or two plays that flipped the game, and then, a lot of the time guys get their head down, they start to not believe and, lose their confidence. So just to make you instill that confidence and you can develop it on a consistent basis.
High school football is now college. Is now old school college football. It's becoming a business. How are you kind of getting the kids to understand the two, as well as on the coaching side? How are y'all juggling that?
Well, you control what you can control. Well, I said, well, all you can do is provide what you want to, what you like to provide as a staff. You know what I mean? Once you set the foundation down, you lay your stuff out. People gonna make decisions on what they want to make decisions on. For the business side of the thing, I mean, Morrow said itself, man. That's a sleeping gem, bro.
That's right.
If you've been to that school, it's college looking facilities and everything like that. So go come to the facility. Don't worry about the past. If I'm a player, I'm looking at like how can I make a difference on this? What kind of legacy I could believe behind? Oh, they got 2, 3 number retired. I'm trying to get 4, 5 number retired before I leave here. You know what I'm saying? So always look at the glad half full of what you can bring to the table. Now you can always look at the aspect like I want to go over here where it's stacked and where it's loaded, but are you really making an impact on a team that's already like that? I ain't knocking what nobody do, but sometimes look at what's best for you. Everybody do what's best for them at the end of the day. Sometimes what's best for you is going somewhere where you can help build and create a new turnaround. Think about the story that could be written if Morrow was to do something special this upcoming season, and you were
Mm-hmm.
a part of that right there. That's something they're gonna live on for decades in a lifetime. Now you go somewhere else, you could be a cog in a rotation. They say, yeah, I was on that, but 5 years from now, will people really remember you?
Nah.
You know what I mean? And it's the same aspect from part ball. A guy that, I got 5 rings, like, bro, you was on the bench player. Like, you know what I mean? There's no disrespect. You take a play in the game, whatever. So you know what I mean? But it is what it is at the end of the day. What's best for you and what legacy do you want to believe behind as an athlete? And to me, where we at in the Ellenwood area, that Clayton Co area, a lot of dogs done came from there. You know what I mean? It just they get credit at other places, but stay home, play where you stay, man, and make Clayco great again. That's the motto that we trying to fix. You know what I'm saying? We want to put a fence around that backyard from 285 to 675 to 138 to, you know what I mean, to 154 off. All that backyard that's right there. Prime real estate where we at right there. That's a school that can actually get 3 different counties and it's zoned for 3 different counties if you think about it. Henry,
Yeah.
DeKalb, Clayton. They all right there in that cluster right there. And if you want to be in a school, that's a magnet school, of course. Got great pathways, great entrepreneurship, great opportunity. Everything that you pretty much want to do in the modern day society, it's right there for you. So, besides me, I'm gonna be in there. You know what I mean? Of course, with the great staff that we do. But like I said, I'm one of the guys that you're gonna be able to relate to in the building like this. For parents that's out there, I'm the coach that's gonna stay tapped in. I'm gonna pull up on your classroom when you least expect it, making sure I'm gonna tell your teacher they can reach out to me because I understand it ain't just about ball, it's boosted for ball at the end of the day. And if you walk out of that thing with a degree and you got opportunity to play at the next level, hey, everybody gonna be smiling from ear to ear that had a hand in hand in it. So that's all it is with me right there.
MCCGA, make Clayco great again.
Yes, sir.
For last couple things,
And
Coach, I
I'm from
thought
the
about the
east side.
Najee.
I'm from the east side. Well, I ain't gonna get into detail, but one thing about it, when I came here, it's about opportunity. My son, he goes here. It's about what you want to do for the kids. A lot of us, the school we went to, we ain't sending out. You know what I'm saying? We ain't sending out people that we want better opportunity for. But not to cut you, I'll go right on ahead with that though.
Nah, you good, you good. So since you know what I'm saying, being ingratiated to the south side, the side of town you on, man. Just talk a little bit about the culture, how it is down there, and I'm saying why it's a special place to be.
We so close to the airport for one. And then when you get older, you start to understand that kind of where you want to be at. You want to be somewhere that's close to an airport, because that lets you
Man.
know. Of course, you see the new center that they just put down there in the South Lake, man, for all the businesses, for all the little event center and things like that. Like Clayco is thriving, man. They really invest a lot in the education. I mean, Morrow's, one of the schools and other schools getting built and like that. So the emphasis that they putting on education, because at the end of the day, what really matters to people, our future, what's the future built on? The educational system. So when you got a place that's invested a lot in that, it got a lot of places in there, you get to everything. And then everything that you need is right there in the vicinity. So when you start to look at all the stuff that matters, when you start to check off all the boxes of what you want to be as a family, Eric Clayco right there, the best spot for you. Especially on
Last question.
that northeast side, you know what I'm saying? Well, right along where, you know what I mean? Yeah, right along where this school located. Very nice area to live in. It's so quiet over there, so peaceful. And everybody know them folk don't play around here either.
Nah, they don't play, but you can hear a pin drop at night. That's how you want it. That's how
Yes,
you want
sir.
it.
Yes, sir.
Last question for me. Two-part question, though, Coach. Two-part question.
Okay.
Where do you see what's end goal while you're at Morrow? Where you see this program going, and what will Coach Redd's legacy be at Morrow?
Where do I see the program going, man? I see the program trending over, man. Definitely being in the position to be able to compete, what I mean, at a high level, you know what I'm saying? However you want to take that is the highest level over the next, you know what I mean? couple of years, but definitely looking for an immediate turnaround this year. Like I said, I'm definitely invested in the 27 guys. Far as my legacy, man, just a guy that came in, did what he needed to do as a coach, that definitely cared for the players, on off the field, help them get to where they're trying to go in life. Definitely still gonna be here after when they graduate to where I ain't the guy that turned their phone off when you ain't playing for me no more. I'm still gonna be here regardless. So just somebody that was passionate about it, man, driven, always focused on the team picture and the overall agenda at hand.
There you have.